You're not stuck. You're just comfortable in the same cycle that's killing your potential. Here's the thing. If nothing changes in the next 6 months, you'll be in the exact same place. Just more frustrated, more bitter, and still scrolling for answers. You say you want growth, but your habits scream maintenance mode. If you keep repeating this average habit loop, you will remain average. You'll watch everyone around you make moves in the dark and wish it was you. What you don't realize is that average is a choice, and you keep choosing it. Netflix versus discipline. You binge distractions instead of building discipline. Every time you hit next episode, you're reinforcing the habit of delay. You choose short-term pleasure over long-term peace. Discipline's uncomfortable. It demands sacrifice, delayed gratification, and silence. But that silence is where progress lives. Entertainment isn't the enemy. Escaping your reality every night is. Comfort versus discomfort. You avoid the gym because it's hard. You skip the deep work because it feels heavy. You cling to the familiar, even when it's killing you slowly. Growth is supposed to feel awful. It's not glamorous. It's reps in silence. It's failing in front of others. But you've taught yourself to flinch at anything that feels inconvenient. You've mistaken comfort for safety, but it's just stagnation in disguise. Validation versus actual results. You post quotes, share wins, craft a narrative, but what are you actually building when no one's watching? Most people chase attention because it feels like progress, but it's not. It's noise. You'd rather be seen working than actually work. You let applause replace accountability. And the worst part? You start believing your own performance. You start thinking you're doing the work because you look like you are. You think you're doing enough. You're not. Showing up isn't the same as showing up hungry. You're moving, sure, but in circles. Here's harsh truth number 1. Your potential means nothing if you never tap it. Nobody cares what you could be. They only see what you are. Yeah, you might feel good about your potential. People might even hype it up. But that becomes a prison when you use it as an excuse to delay action. You start living off the fumes of someday. Someday you'll get serious. Someday you'll show them. But the world doesn't reward invisible effort. It rewards execution. And every day you waste pretending you're building when you're really just fantasizing, well, that potential, it rots. And you rot with it. You become that person people talk about with pity. They had so much going for them. Truth number 2. You keep waiting for motivation to strike. It won't. Motivation is a byproduct of action, not the cause of it. The idea that you need to feel ready before you act is one of the biggest lies holding you back. You wait until you're inspired, but the inspiration never comes. Why? Because you're sitting still. Movement creates momentum. Action generates clarity. Every successful person you admire didn't wait for the perfect mood. They acted despite the resistance. You're letting your emotional state dictate your direction. You're handing your life over to mood swings and momentary discomfort. Start moving. You don't need motivation. You need proof that you can follow through. And the only way to get that proof? Show up. Do the damn work. Truth number 3. You avoid hard things because you think failure defines you. But avoiding hard things? That's the real failure. Deep down, you're terrified of trying and failing. Because if you try your hardest and still fall short, what does that say about you? So you settle for easy, for mediocre, for safe. You convince yourself that not trying is smart, that it's strategic, but it's cowardice dressed as caution. Every time you dodge the uncomfortable, you reinforce the idea that you're not capable. And slowly, that becomes your identity. You don't just fear failure, you start expecting it. The truth is, failure is part of the process. Avoiding it means avoiding the only path to growth. You can't skip the pain and still expect the progress. Here's the shift. Start making one decision each day that your future self would be proud of. Not for dopamine, not for applause. Just to prove to yourself you're not full of shit. That decision doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be honest. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Cut the junk content you consume. Say no to the friend who drains your energy. Speak up instead of staying silent. These small pivots add up. They start rewriting your identity. Because every time you choose the harder path, the better path, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. You stop waiting for life to change and start becoming the reason it does. Because average isn't a result, it's a choice you keep making. So the question is, are you done being predictable, or are you still married to your excuses? Your future's watching. Choose loud.